This next song is called Weary.
Make sure I look good.
All right, here with A Wake In Providence, dude. Just want to start out by saying you guys killed it tonight, bro. It was my first time seeing you guys.
Fuck yeah.
Been listening to you for a minute too, but I live in the Panhandle, and I know you guys don't really come through there too often. You know what I mean?
This is the first time we're actually doing like anything other. Like the last tour we did was a little bit more of the country, but this one is like we're hitting the whole North America.
Yeah. Me and my buddy, we saw the package, and we're like, bro, we cannot miss this, dude.
That's what it seems like the consensus is. So, so super happy to be on this one for sure.
Yeah. So how's it been so far? How's it been playing with other bands and stuff? I know. I mean, you guys got like a lot of shows sold out, right?
Yeah, which is a trip. Like it was our first time playing sold out shows, which is like unreal. It's like every night I'm almost every night. So there's one or two that I couldn't, but almost every night taking pictures of the crowd because it's just unbelievable. Like the crowds that we're playing in front of. And then as far as like the bands that are on the run, they've all been super accommodating, super sick. And then it's like opening on the tour, that was something that I was nervous about because like in the past doing opening shows, it sucks. Never fun to play in front of 6 people. But on this one, it's like I think one of the opening shows we played in front of like 600.
Yeah, it's a different game, man.
It was insane. I think like that show confirmed at the door was like 710 or something.
That's crazy.
Well, absurd.
That's awesome.
Like playing shows like that are just like multiple tears. Let's put it that way.
Well, I know you guys came out with an album last year.
Yep.
So are you guys kind of just like focusing on touring right now? Are you guys wanting to like work on music and come out with something? Like what's the focus for the rest of the year after this one? I mean,
so
I know
we have so Eternity happened. That was October of last year. We're creeping up on a year of that guy. The response to that
is a sick album.
Thank you. I appreciate
Super
that.
Sick.
I appreciate that. The response has been like as you said, it's been pretty good. That and God Killer have been just like wild rides, and then playing that stuff live now, and like seeing people like even like
know the words
show,
and shit.
Yeah, man, I'm up there singing my parts, and I see somebody else singing it. I'm like,
man.
As far as what we got going on now, I'm currently. I want to say I'm done with the record, but I'm not technically. I thought I was. But I made some further decisions, and then me and the guys, when we were together, I asked them like what they thought of this one thing.
That happens a lot. You know what I mean?
Like, you know what? Like I pretty much soundboarded my idea, and they just kind of hit me back with my same idea, and I was like, all right, I got to do it. So I was done with the record, but now I'm gonna work on it a little bit longer. So. We're still looking at next year, so that's a positive. It's going to be the focus now is just finishing the record when we get back, working on the recording of it, so that's going to happen kind of throughout the end of the year pretty much. And then just going to start doing some music videos and all the other fun stuff over the next couple of months.
Hell yeah,
it's gonna
dude.
be sick. I'm so excited.
Nah, dude, I'm still, like I said, I've been listening to you for a minute, man, and I'm a huge fan. I know, Will used to be in the band. After he left, how did you meet this vocalist, man? Because he's fucking insane.
Funny enough, when we were looking for a new vocalist right before we got Will, we found him first on YouTube through a vocal tutorial he did, and we were like, holy God, like, that guy. Turns out he lived in Florida, and at the time we were still doing a lot of local stuff, so it didn't work out. Kept searching, and then we found a vocal cover that Will did of Numbskull by Last 10. And we were like, okay, that guy. And then he lived in Jersey. That was close enough, so that worked out. While we were on tour, was it a tour? I don't know if it was a tour or if we did a one-off, I can't remember. But we ended up playing a show down in Florida, and I believe him and Will and Adam actually were friends, or at least internet friends, and we ended up staying at Adam's house. So like through that, I ended up keeping in contact with Adam. When Will left the band, I hit Adam up. I was like, hey dude, like, 'cause we were trying to find people, couldn't find anyone that meshed with what I wanted to do.
And sometimes it works better like that, man. Like maybe like, you didn't join the band like right when you first met him, and you know, all that because you lived in Florida and it didn't work out, but like eventually, it worked out. Exactly.
And then it also worked out for Will, which is great too. Like that timing all just kind of pushed everybody exactly where they needed to be. And then I hit up Adam on Facebook. I was like, hey dude, like, I know it's a long shot, like we're gonna start doing more touring stuff, so it's not a lot of local stuff. And then at this point, our other members were already far away, so I was like, all right, this is just the perfect opportunity. So then he said yes, and then it's just been just taken off from there. And
fuck yeah.
Well, really good time.
Everybody I've talked to said you guys fucking, like, after their set were like one of their favorite sets they've seen in a minute, dude. Y'all killed it. I mean, I've watched a lot of live videos before this, bro, and I was like, you know, like some bands aren't really consistent, you know, they'll have an off night, which is normal, you know what I mean? But it's like, almost all the videos I've seen, bro, you guys were killing it and shit. And so I was like, I knew when I seen you guys live here, I was like, it's gonna be awesome. And it was.
Thank
so,
you. I'm super stoked about that.
But I always like to ask this: how did the band form? Did you know the guys that originally formed it? Was it kind of like a thing that you guys knew each other from way back? And how did you come up with the name as well?
Pretty much what happened was I was in a different band in my local scene back when I lived in Staten Island, New York. And that band kind of just fizzled away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, we were doing stuff, and they were a band that was really big in that scene. They took a hiatus and came back, and I joined at that time. And then we kind of just stopped playing. It was really, really weird. And I was like, all right, I'll start my own thing. But I wanted to start a metalcore band.
Yeah.
So I was really big into, I think, Stand Up and Scream by Asking Alexander just came out. ABR put out, I think, Constellations.
Yeah.
And there was another album that came out. I can't remember what it was.
It was a good time, man.
Yeah, dude. Metalcore was bumping back then.
Yeah,
dude.
man.
And then I was like, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. So I was working at Hot Topic at the time, so I was in the perfect place for it. Our old vocalist was a seasonal at Hot Topic. I asked him, I was like, do you play any instruments? He was like, I play bass and keyboard. I was like, perfect. We need a synth player, because back then we all thought that a synth was just a keyboard. You were good. As it turns out, he actually didn't play either of those things. But he was like, oh, I do vocals. So I was like, all right, sick. So me and him just started up. I was writing demos of metalcore stuff.
Yeah.
We tried out a few female singers, and then we found one. We were like, all right, sick. And then Upon a Burning Body put out The World Is Ours. And then my vocalist at the time, he was like, nah, dude, we gotta do that.
Yeah, man.
I was like, I don't know how to write that stuff, dude. I don't listen to this. So whatever, I started listening to Suicide Silence, I started listening to deathcore, Carnifex, and all that stuff. I wrote what I thought was deathcore. It was like our first little demo, 3 songs. Yeah. And then we just kept playing and found different members around our local scene. We had so many member changes over the years. I think the total number of member changes is roughly about anywhere between 15 and 17 member changes over the years.
That's more common than you realize, though.
Yeah, man, for sure. But so I started the band back in 2010, and just been trying to find people over time.
And now you're fucking on these big ass tours and shit, dude.
And then as far as the name goes, this one was one of my favorite stories, because it's the climax isn't that cool, but there's a name in it that's really funny.
Okay.
It was me and our vocalist, and we had a bass player. We didn't have a drummer yet. We had a loose leaf piece of paper that was just scribbled with so many name ideas. Yeah. And again, we were trying to be a metalcore band, so we were like, we gotta think of metalcore names. And the name that we stuck with, but never actually ended up coming out because we changed our genre and changed everything, was Arsonists Shouldn't Play With Matches.
Okay.
That was the dorkiest name ever, but we were super into it.
Yeah.
Until I was like, you know what? Let me just scribble one more. I looked up majors, just all the capital cities or major cities in the country. Providence just sounded really cool. So I was like, all right, what can I do with that'll make it darker? We were like, all right, we're a deathcore band now. I was like, what can we do to make it sound evil?
Yeah.
I looked up what the definition of Providence is, and one of the definitions is God's land.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what would work? What could work with that? It was like a death in God's land, but that doesn't sound as cool. So it was like A Wake In Providence, so it's like awakened, like a death in God's land. It's gonna be the other term.
It sounds smooth.
Yeah, exactly. So A Wake In Providence just happened. I wrote it down, took it to band practice. We were still doing that. I think I got it. Everybody looked at it. We were like, that's it. That's it. So yeah.
Well,
and then the last part of that is fast forward a couple of years. We almost did change the name. Very, very closely to almost.
Well, I'm glad you did not, bro, because it's a sick name, and I don't know, bro. You guys are a sick band, bro. And I was so glad I was finally able to see you guys. And yeah, man, I appreciate you chatting me so much, bro. I mean, I'm sure fans want to meet you in there and shit like that. But thank you so much, bro. Safe travels the rest of the day.